In 2010, Bob Ince, the owner of the website Rent a Hitman, received a very strange email. The email was from a British woman named Helen who was stuck in Canada without her passport. The email that she sent wasn't something like, "I'm stuck here in Canada, come help me." But it said that she wanted to rent a hitman. She wanted to hire a hitman to kill 3 of her family members. She claimed that they cheated her out of her inheritance, and that's why she wanted revenge. Hello and welcome to the 3 AM Fear podcast. I'm Nikita Ferrao, mystery and thriller author. On this podcast, I talk about real crimes and real people. Due to the graphic nature of some of this content, listener discretion is advised. You can find the episode show notes on my website 3amfear.com. Let's get started. Welcome to 3M Fear Dark Secrets, special episodes of the 3M Fear podcast. I'm Nikita Ferrao, your host and narrator. Now, almost everyone knows about the dark web. Secret websites that exist for the sole purpose of doing something that you don't want anyone to find out. In this episode, we are going to discuss about one such website, Rent a Hitman. You heard it right. A website that was solely created to rent a hitman. But the truth is, this website wasn't real. Let's get started. In 2010, Bob Ince, the owner of the website Rent a Hitman, received a very strange email. The email was from a British woman named Helen who was stuck in Canada without her passport. The email that she sent wasn't something like, "I'm stuck here in Canada, come help me." But it said that she wanted to rent a hitman. She wanted to hire a hitman to kill 3 of her family members. She claimed that they cheated her out of her inheritance, and that's why she wanted revenge. At first, Bob wasn't sure if this was a prank email, but after some time, when Helen gave another email with all the details of her family members, he was scared. He now realized that he was talking to someone who possibly wanted her entire family to be murdered. He didn't tell her anything but immediately went to the authorities, and one person from the authorities came posing as a hitman, spoke to Helen, and when he had enough evidence, Helen was arrested. But that was not the one and only case. Bob was going to get a lot more. Now, Bob and his friends created this website, Rent a Hitman, for the sole reason of being it as a IT website. By hits, I mean the IT hits and not the killing hits. That is the sole reason of why they created this website. Now, what Bob didn't know was that many people thought that this website that he had created as an IT project would be taken as a hitman website. And when Bob realized, he thought, why not prank everyone? And he made this website look like a hitman website. If you look at it, it still has all the data, all the information, like how you can rent a hitman, what process you can take, the steps, everything is there. Rent a Hitman, despite its name, was not a real service. Created in 2005, it was originally a play on the words for an IT business that Bob and his friends were running. They referred to hits as website traffic and used the name Hitman as a joke. Bob would explain, quote, "Rent as in hire us, hit as in network traffic, and men because there were 4 of us. We thought it was funny." End quote. However, after the business dissolved, Bob still kept the domain and turned it into a funny website where people could quote-unquote hire a hitman. The site even had fake customer testimonials, a career page, and humorous mentions about being the best hitman website in the world. For years, Bob kept the website up, assuming that people would think of it as a joke. Many visitors did send some prank requests, but to his surprise, there were dozens of people who submitted real inquiries. They had photos, addresses, personal details, all for the people that they wanted killed. Concerned for the safety of the individuals mentioned, Bob started printing out these requests and started contacting the authorities. Now, although Rent a Hitman was supposed to be a funny site, it ended up exposing a lot of would-be criminals. Now, of course, all the messages were not genuine. Most of the people were just playing pranks. So what Bob did was that he would go through all the emails, he would read them, and he would see if any of them looked as if they were fake or someone was just pranking him, and he would delete those emails. And for those emails that he thought were genuine, he would contact them and then give them 24 hours, kind of like a cooling period. And if they came back after 24 hours and said that they still wanted this person eliminated, then Bob would go to the authorities. And like before, one of them would come posing as a hitman, they would talk to this person, get incriminating evidence, and then kidnap them. There are so many contract killings over a period of time that Bob has avoided or stopped just because people contacted him through his website. Bob says that the website has attracted so many people that he has been paying the money just to keep the website up and alive. In 2018, Bob received an email from a woman named Jasmine Brown. She said that she wanted to place a hit on someone named BH. Now, I don't know why, but the name is only kept as BH, the initials. She gave all personal details relating to this person, and Bob found out somehow that Jasmine Brown was not her real name. In fact, the phone number and email address that were used to create the account came from someone named Zandra Ellis. When Bob asked Zandra why she created this fake name, Zandra said that BH has been trying to harm her and she wanted to get BH out of the way before BH could do something to her. Upon further asking, Zandra would go on to say that Jasmine Brown was just a fake name because she wanted to protect her identity and nothing more than that. But Bob wasn't sure about this, and so he immediately handed her details over to the authorities. An undercover FBI agent came posing as a hitman named Ace and met Zandra. He told her that if she was still interested, then he was ready to do the job. And Zandra said yes. He said that he charged $1,000 for a hit with $100 as an upfront fee. Zandra paid him the $100 and said that she would give the rest of the money in $250 installments. They arranged a meeting at a local Waffle House in New Orleans where Zandra was supposed to come and give him the $100 fee. Zandra believed that she would finally get rid of BH, but what she didn't know was that she was walking right into a trap. A few days later, after they were sure they had all the evidence against her, she would be arrested. On July 6, 2018, Zandra walked into that Waffle House along with her child. Now that was unexpected because everyone thought that she would come alone, but she came with her child. She spotted Ace sitting there, went over, handed him the money and told him that he had to get rid of BH. Ace invited her to sit down, and what she didn't know was that Ace was carrying a recording device. As he started to talk to Zandra, Zandra spilled the beans and told exactly why she wanted to kill BH. Apparently, Zandra and BH both had children from the same man, and that's why Zandra wanted BH out of the way. She claimed that BH had been threatening her and her unborn child, and the only way to protect her family was to get BH out of the way. And during that conversation, she also casually said that she was carrying a weapon with her. The FBI agent had heard enough and she was immediately arrested. While Zandra tried to hire a hitman, others approached Rent a Hitman with a different goal. Another person named Josiah reached out to Bob, but he didn't want to place a hit on someone. He was actually looking for a job. He said that he was an ex-military man and he had a really good aim. And of course, his details also went to the FBI and he was also arrested. Under the FBI's guidance, Bob pretended to be a recruiter and began communicating with Josiah. As their conversation went on, Josiah revealed more details about his intentions, including his rate for each job, which was $5,000. Now here, Josiah was excited, thinking that he was trying to boast about his skills, trying to get a career as a hitman. The FBI was setting up a sting operation to catch him in the act. After some back and forth messages with an undercover FBI agent posing as a hitman, Josiah agreed to meet at a park in Tennessee, where he would receive his first target. The FBI had prepared a convincing fake target packet with photos, details of the supposed victim, and $2,500 as down payment for the job. On the day of the meeting, Josiah came all excited and confident. He even said that if needed, he would take photographs of the victims. Maybe if he wanted something chopped off or in a certain position, then he would do that, take the photos of the victims and then bring them over as a piece of trophy or as a piece of proof. Josiah was immediately arrested, he was found guilty and he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Now the main reason that Josiah was looking for a job was to support his family. But Leaf, another person, had something completely different in mind. In April of 2022, Leaf, who was living in New Mexico, tried to hire a hitman to kill his girlfriend's mother. Leaf had made several attempts to hire someone to rent a hitman, providing personal information about his mother-in-law. Frustrated by the lack of response, Leaf even threatened to do the job himself if no one helped him. Concerned by his threat, Bob decided to pass on the information to the authorities, and an undercover operation was launched. An FBI agent posing as a hitman contacted Leaf to gather more details. Leaf, who was on a tight budget, initially offered $200 for the job, but then went on to lower it to $53, explaining that he couldn't get more money from his girlfriend. On May 11, 2022, an undercover agent met Leaf at his home in New Mexico. As it turns out, Leaf was living under a state-appointed guardian in his home due to his intellectual disabilities. When the agent spoke to Leaf, he realized that he had more than one target in mind. During the meeting, Leaf had an argument with one of the caregivers, and that is when he said that he wanted them gone too. The situation was getting out of control and the agent had to abort the mission. However, enough evidence was collected and Leaf would get arrested. In July of 2020, Wendy Wayne decided to rent a hitman to get rid of her husband. She was furious. She had just caught him cheating on her with the babysitter and she wanted him gone. Wendy put on a $5,000 hit on her husband. She met with an undercover agent who posed as a hitman, gave him all the details, and she was, of course, arrested. In early 2018, a man named Devon wanted his ex-girlfriend and her entire family killed because she broke up with him. Devon was desperate to get custody of his 3-year-old daughter. He hoped that if his ex-girlfriend and her family were gone, then the only family that his child would have was him. And that's when he reached out to rent a hitman. Bob forwarded Devon's messages to the August County Sheriff's Office. An undercover deputy posed as a hitman and spoke to Devon. During their talks, Devon explained that he wanted to eliminate his ex and her family so that he could take better care of his daughter. But Devon struggled to come up with the money. Without any money exchanged, it seemed as if Devon had lost interest or got cold feet. Anything could be possible. On February 12, 2018, Devon was arrested. In 2023, a woman named Jasmine went one step ahead and put a hit on her very own son because she wanted to get rid of him. This was one of the most shocking requests that Bob could ever receive. At just 18 years old, Jasmine felt desperate and thought that getting rid of her own son was the only way to keep her boyfriend, Galileo. Jasmine was in an on-again, off-again relationship with Galileo, who was also 18 years old. Galileo repeatedly told Jasmine that he didn't like her son and even suggested that she get rid of him to make this relationship work. He was so adamant that he openly told Jasmine that if she did not get rid of her son, then he would leave her. After yet another breakup, Galileo told Jasmine that if she wanted him back, then she had to deal with her son. He would reportedly go on to say, quote, "You do it, and I'll think about coming back." End quote. Jasmine, desperate to get back with her boyfriend, tried to deceive him by saying that her son was gone. But Galileo wanted proof, and without proof, he was not going to come back. Desperate to keep him, and knowing that this was the only way, Jasmine put a hit on him. She stressed the urgency of the situation, saying that she wanted it to be done by Thursday. Bob was shocked at what had happened. He immediately contacted the police and told them where she was and what she wanted to be done. If you like this episode, please do like and subscribe. I will be back again with another episode in another week. Until then, stay kind and stay safe out there.